And welcome back, everybody. This is Movies and Beyond. My name is Callum. His name is Kyle. And we are best of friends.
Biggest movie channel in UK.
Biggest movie channel in UK. Get subscribing now down below, because we're on 89 subscribers. That'll take us to 90, and 90 will take us to 100. 100 will take us to 1,000. 1,000 will take us... Shut up, Kyle.
We didn't know 100 subscribers for the Morbius 24-hour watch, alright? But
that's definitely our fault, though. We would have hit 100 if we uploaded more over Christmas.
If we hit 100 subscribers before the end of the month, me and Callum will personally send you, not even fucking around, but we'll personally send you a signed by me and Callum, kind of not even Heinz beans. We'll send you our favourite beans that we eat, the ones with the sausages. We will post that and send it to you.
Mate,
isn't that right, Callum?
Yeah, we will. We will send you a tin of beans.
Signed by both of us.
Signed by both of us. We'll send you a tin of beans. Are you ready for the beans on Wednesday? I got loads of beans, mate. For when we watch Echo, I've got all the beans. Remember that time I gave you a tin to take home?
Yeah, I know. I used it.
It's like, mate, I know you like them. Take them.
I used them. So I had like a little getaway with some friends, and we woke up in the morning all hungover, and my friend, she was making us all like breakfast. It was a lovely breakfast, but I was like, "You make it with these beans." I actually had the beans you gave me. I brought them with me, and she cooked them, mate. Oh, beautiful.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Right. Let's try and capture people's interest then. This is what they want to hear us speak about, not beans.
Fucking beans. But yeah, 100 subscribers before end of January. You get some signed beans.
We'll send you a signed tin of beans. Anywhere in the world. I don't even give a fuck. I will send a signed tin of beans anywhere in the world.
We will do that.
If you want them beans in India, you'll get them.
We'll pay customs. We don't care. We'll do it.
We'll do it. So yeah. Anyway, our first topic today is beans. Kyle, what's your favourite? No, we can't.
Your beans, Callum.
My
you
beans.
know this.
You love my beans.
I do.
Right. No, right. Shut up. You. I'm speaking to you. Shut the fuck up. We're going to talk about beans.
You continue the bean talk.
Right.
Anyway,
3 minutes on beans.
Our first topic today. It's regarding The Last of Us Season 2. Sorry, Callum, I'm just taking the lead here.
It's alright.
Just because I saw this story as well, and basically, we've got our casting for Abby, which is quite interesting.
Apparently so.
Apparently so, yeah.
No major trades are reporting this yet, but this girl's been rumoured for a while. What is it, Caitlin Dever?
I've seen her she was in that Booksmart. Yeah.
I love that film, and she was fantastic.
See, I went in watching it expecting a different film, so when I watched it, I'll admit I didn't quite enjoy it, but I do want to go back and watch it, so it will be a film that I will go back and watch. It wasn't a film that I disliked, I just don't think I was ready and understood the concept of it, but
I remember...
Good film.
This girl here was, rumoured for Ellie for a long time as well, before Last of Us even came out. I remember one of the major, fan speculation castings was her and Nikolai Coster-Waldau, who plays Jaime Lannister in Game of Thrones, and I quite liked seeing that combination. I was like, oh fuck, that could work. I'm happy with what we got. But, Abby. This is going back to a story that we did last year, and it was, no, Abby's been cast. We just, we can't reveal out yet because of the strikes. So, I think we was expecting something a bit sooner, but they've got to start shooting this pretty soon, I imagine, so we'll probably hear an official announcement soon. But, this means that they're probably going the way you don't want them to go, Kyle. But are you ready for it? Are you going to accept it?
Just like who does the face model for the second game of Ellie? I know it's not her, but she looks like Ellie from the second game when she's a bit older. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Is she the face model for it?
No.
Because she looks identical.
No.
Sorry, just there's an image here. I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at these two together. They're near enough identical,
Well, that's
which
why
is going to be weird.
a lot of people wanted her to be Ellie.
Yeah. Right.
This is like back in day, like.
I mean, listen. This is just going to be one of those things. It's like, it's not about who's playing Abby. It's not about that. Like the original portrayal of Abby, I don't know her name, but I think she does like streaming or something now. I've not really like followed her, but I saw a clip of her talking about it, and she seems really cool. She seems like a really like nice person, and she did get a lot of hate, which wasn't deserved because at the end of the day, she didn't write the character. It wasn't really in her control. She thought she would just she would just.
I know this isn't what you're trying to say as well, but we shouldn't throw hate at the writers either.
No.
I know you weren't trying to say that, but it's
no,
just
absolutely. They all deserve to burn and crash and die, but no. The problem is with the story that they went off of for the second game. Like, I don't want to get into too much spoilers, but it doesn't focus on the characters we know already. It tries to introduce new characters that we don't really get like an attachment with, and that's like one of the biggest issues of the second game. Gameplay wise, it's phenomenal. I'll say it confidently. It's one of the smoothest, well done games today, and it's got a good length to it. The issue is the story's just not gripping. It's kind of. What's that?
Your mum said that.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So yeah, that's the big problem with it. Is just Abby. It doesn't matter who portrays Abby because the actor who did portray Abby in the game was great. Was believable. It was just I couldn't get behind that character's motivations, so to speak. I didn't want to play as this character because it just felt wrong. There was only one mission in it, and I'm going to say something, spoiler alert. I don't know how they're going to do this in the show, because I feel like it's only for in-game sort of thing. The only way to do it is in a game. And that's when you play as Abby and you're fighting Ellie. Because there's no way really to portray that in a show in which you obviously can't control. So I'm fine with whoever they cast. I'm sure they'll do a great job. I just hope that they mend the character a little bit, potentially make the character a bit more likable in a sense.
Well, they said this from day one with The Last of Us, like the showrunners Craig Mazin and what's his... Is it Craig Mazin and the guy Neil Druckmann. They said this from day one, this is an opportunity to go over things that worked well, expand on the things that worked well, make them better, and look at some things that didn't work and do them a little bit differently. So they've already had the benefit of hindsight with this. They know what people didn't like. I still think we're going to get that big moment, but I think we're going to get it in a very different way.
Yeah, I'm fine with the big moment. The issue I have is after that, I'm just like, it's a revenge story, and you kind of want to play as other characters rather than Abby, and it puts you in this awkward position where you're playing as this character. I remember when I played as Abby in the game, and I literally just jumped off the roof. Like, I'm not even kidding. I just jumped off.
I never finished it after playing as Abby. I played a little bit more, but I know what you mean. I just lost connection to the story when I was playing the Ellie stuff, and I was going through each member of that group you kill, even if it's a small NPC. When you're just first sneaking into the town, even if it's a small NPC, you feel angry about it, and you feel like you're getting rage out, and Ellie kills them in like the most brutal way possible, like shoveling a glass bottle up their ass and like stamping on it or something. But
do you know what? That's the big issue. Is obviously with the story that they're trying to tell, they've really sort of backed themselves into a corner of like, right, you've got just Ellie left now, and the other character you play as isn't even Ellie, it's Abby. So it's just like, what are you trying to portray here? Are you trying to make me feel... you could have done that in a much different way. You could have done it in the sense of, like, maybe give Abby 3, 4, maybe 5 missions instead of, like, more than half the game, it felt like. It would have definitely made that moment a bit more impactful as well, because it just felt drawn out, trying to relearn these characters in this world, and I'm just like, I get what they were trying to do, but your main characters in this franchise are Joel and Ellie.
Well, I'm going to suggest now that they've actually already started to, lay the foundations of feeling sorry for Abby. Because, when you're going through the hospital in the game, it's like this fucking, storm of people coming at you, and you feel badass, and it's like, gotta go save Ellie. They don't do that in the show. They do the hospital thing, but they show it from a perspective of, Joel's a monster. Joel is a monster. Yeah, he's doing it for Ellie, but they show it from a perspective of, this is still wrong, what he's doing. So they've already started laying them foundations for when we get to Last of Us Season 2, I believe. They just need to be able to carry that momentum forward. And people are going to be pissed. I know there will be.
I'm looking forward to the show. I feel like
You've really started to come round on this a bit more, I think.
I'm still looking forward to it. I'm still going to watch it. I'm just dreading that they do exactly the same as they did in the second game, and they don't alter things just to be... Not to, like, please me. It's just do the things better. Which, obviously... I do think that the second game should be split into 2 seasons with the story. 100%. Just because of how fucking long the second game is. Like, the second game is, like, part 2 and part 3 just meshed together. So, yeah, this isn't, like, this is not to throw shade at anybody, writers... whoever portrays Abby. I don't really give a shit. At the end of the day, I have trust in these guys behind the scenes, who they're going to pick. A thing we reiterate on the channel all the time, is get a good actor for the role. It looks like they've done that. So, as long as she can bring, to life what they're writing down on the paper, and it's actually good what they're writing down on paper, then there shouldn't be an issue. I feel like this is going to piss off a lot of these proper, complaining Last of Us fans, because if this is Abby, it's like, well, why did you cast her as Abby and not Ellie? It's like, it's almost like an FU to them. But
let's be honest, if she's in the running for this, she probably screen tested for Ellie. Probably. That's why the rumours were out there. And when it comes down to it, Bella was probably just better at being Ellie. I do not care what fucking people look like. As long as they can... Look like. I don't care what fucking people look like. As long as we get Joel giving us a good fucking performance, I'm alright with that.
Yes. I agree.
Like, let's take it to the extreme. Joel could have been Bill Cosby. But if he gave a great performance, I wouldn't have cared.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Right. Moving on, shall we?
Yeah, let's go.
Yep.
I don't agree with that statement, by the way.
No, neither do I. I just want it to be extreme, Alright, next one. So, one for you. Spider-Man. Spider-Man 4 is looking for a director. We thought for a long time that John Watts will be coming back, the person who directed the first 3 in the... Fucking hell, I'm going to burp. The person who directed the first 3 in the MCU home trilogy, I suppose we can call it. But apparently Marvel and Sony's top choice now is Drew Goddard. the creator of the Netflix Daredevil show. And this makes sense to me on so many levels now, because of all the rumours we've been hearing, that it's going to be a street-level civil war, sort of. You know, Kingpin's going to be the villain. You know, Daredevil's going to be in it. We're hearing things now, you know, Vincent D'Onofrio, someone saying, you know, one of the showrunners for Echo saying that Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin is going to be the street-level Thanos. They are building to somewhat with that, and it probably will be this Spider-Man film that they're building to. So, yeah, this is pretty cool. Who do you want, Drew Goddard or John Watts back?
I love John Watts. I think he did an amazing job with yeah. I would like to see John Watts to do something else in the MCU.
Well, he was
I don't want him.
Fantastic Four, wasn't he? And
he was, and that was like the perfect, you know, thing, because obviously it's kind of like fate almost, because obviously the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man are very close in the comics, and you know, it's just one of those things of like, it's so perfect, you know, because they've you know, it's instead of just doing one superhero, he's now doing multiple. And I feel like John Watts, he's proved himself.
Well, he's in the running, isn't he, for the next Avengers film, I believe.
Yeah, he's definitely. It's well deserved. It's absolutely well deserved. He's shown that he's able to do multi-character stories in his films, in the Spider-Man films, especially No Way Home. But even then, Homecoming, you know, you had Ned, you had obviously MJ. Well, she wasn't MJ at the time.
Such a small personal story as well.
Yeah. So. And he brought that, like, you know, in No Way Home, when Toby and Andrew show up, it's not like a cameo or whatever. It's like they have a place in the story, and it's still focused on Tom's Spider-Man. It's still his story.
Like a lot of people say, oh, No Way Home's just fan service. People only like it because of Free Spider-Man. You know, we're saying, you know, when we walked out, I was like, that film was amazing, you know, right up until the Spider-Man showed up, and then when the Spider-Man showed up, it just made it even better. You know, that Green Goblin fight with, obviously, Spider-Man and Green Goblin fight. Duh! That was fucking spectacular, Spider-Man.
It was.
But yeah. But what do you think about Drew Goddard maybe taking the reins now? Maybe actually doing a trilogy, and not getting to Kingpin in the first one, but an actual trilogy of building up to take on Kingpin.
I'm fine with that. The only issue I see is Sony wanting to shoehorn in their Sony universe bullshit.
Sony and Marvel are pretty much on the same page right now with MCU Spider-Man. They want this film to be big. Apparently they want it to be as big as an Avengers film, which, let's not knock them, the last one was. If you look at the box office numbers, the last one was as big as an Avengers film. My only not issue with this is they're going to establish all these street-level characters in Marvel Spotlight and have them gritty, violent, bloody. And then when it comes to maybe the big finale of it all, it's in a Spider-Man film that's going to be, you know, 12A, a PG-13 in the States, which you can do action in. You can. But, you know, it's maybe this will happen, this will not happen. But maybe Sony decide, no, it's our property. Rated R Spider-Man film. It would make money. It wouldn't make as much money as a PG-13 Spider-Man film. That's just facts. But, yeah, this just makes sense to me with everything that's been going on. It's like, no, we want to get that street level sense back to Spider-Man. It's weird, isn't it? Spider-Man started in the big leagues, and it's like he's making his way back to his roots, which is great. I do want to see street level Spider-Man, because how many times have we seen Spider-Man swing through New York? I think the only time we saw him actually swing through New York was, before No Way Home came out, was right at the end of Far From Home.
He kind of swings through in Infinity War.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I feel like this is going to be a bit more. It's definitely going to be more street level, more down to earth, I guess you could say. It's gonna show up those Iron Boy.
They should have been shut up already though, because I think people are missing the point of the films. It was like, no, he goes beyond. Especially the first two, he goes beyond Tony. He beats Vulture in his pajamas. No Spider-Man, Iron Spider suit or anything like that. He does it as him.
Mm.
No help from Tony to actually beat Vulture at the end. Mysterio, he doesn't use any of the technology. He beats Mysterio with his eyes closed, using his spider sense. So, for me, that's always been a weird criticism. But it's an easy criticism. It's an easy criticism for, like I say, when people just go, "This is woke."
It's just another stupid thing to complain about. Yeah. It's all you. But I'll say this. Obviously, we're kind of moving on to our next topic, I guess. I got one thing to say. We'll keep on this page because it's sort of related to background things. It's the new Star Wars movie. I'm surprised it's not really a topic, but I just wanted to just get my comment on this. I really disagree with what the director's been saying.
I was gonna make this a topic, but I couldn't be arsed with the comments.
Well, I'm just gonna say this now, and this is for the record. I was not hyped. I didn't want this film. I didn't care much for this film.
Have you properly read into it?
I've looked at Daisy Ridley's comments and I've seen like some sort of interview where she's saying the director's saying I want this. I don't want men to like this or something like that.
No. This is an interview from 8 years ago.
Right.
And she said, I like making men feel uncomfortable in jest.
Oh.
It's not to do with a film.
Okay, fair enough. But either way, I'm just like with what Daisy Ridley said, I saw that and she made a comment on that. I just can't be bothered with it. Like, I don't really care for this film anymore. It's not because of that. It's just what Daisy Ridley kind of said.
I don't care about this film until I see a trailer. And if it's good or not, then that'll...
Yeah. I mean, if the film's good and I hear good things about it, I'll consider watching it, but for now, I really just don't care. And it's another thing I want to say is the fact that Kylo Ren isn't even going to be sort of featured as like a Force Ghost or something like that, or anything. And I think this is dead now. I'm hoping that this movie gets to redeem Rey a little bit, especially after Rise of Skywalker.
That's all I want.
Yeah, Daisy Ridley said something as well. She said that this is going to be a movie that's not focused on the Skywalkers. It's going to, and then she pretty much contradicts herself, saying it's about Rey Skywalker, and I'm like, what?
Well, if there's one thing we agree on at the Movies and Beyond channel, there is no such thing as Rey Skywalker, so she can't hurt you anymore.
Oh no, Rey Skywalker. But this movie gets announced. Oh, fuck another one.
Oh, fuck another one. Yeah. Right. Let's move on to the next one then. Oh, nice. Peacemaker season 2. You tell I got lazier as I went down. I was rushing a bit to get it done. Peacemaker season 2. James Gunn. He says he's over halfway done writing it. Also, I was reading in this article, it's not going to be the same version of Peacemaker. It's going to be a slightly different version of Peacemaker for Peacemaker Season 2. So, He's over halfway done writing it. That's great. What do you think about it being a slightly different version for the DCU? I suppose it's got to be, hasn't it, to fit in.
I think it'll be fine. You know, look at Daredevil. Daredevil's in the air for years now. Is he in the MCU? Is he not in the MCU?
And he is!
Some parts. I think it's the same thing as this, to be honest. I don't really care. It doesn't really matter. Who gives a shit? It's Peacemaker. He can have his own fucking cinematic universe revolving around him. I'm fine with that. I don't care. Just give us more John Cena. Give us, obviously, the cast behind. You know, I want more Vigilante, obviously. Just give us more Peacemaker. Give us more of that good old James Gunn style.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's what's got to be done if you want it to fit in this new universe, because Peacemaker would have then interacted with our old Justice League, and then who says he's going to interact with a new one? But, you know, he's met Cavill's Superman, he's met Ezra Miller's Flash, he's met Jason Momoa's Aquaman, he's met Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman.
Yeah, it's not like a Deadpool situation where it's just like, oh, fuck it, you don't really need to explain it. Just have it as an alternative universe, which I think people will be fine about, you know?
Yeah.
They get some new suits.
Alternative universe.
Fresh start, clean slate, you know, you've got loads of things you can do then.
Where the same stuff happened, just that Justice League didn't show up. That's it. That's all you have to do. So I wonder who would be saying, you fucking late dickheads. Or cocksuckers. That were great. I remember we were sitting there watching that, just like...
I think it'll be funny if they do like a little recap and they just completely edit out the Justice League and put someone else there.
Yeah.
I think that'd be pretty funny. So like, oh, consistency, what?
Which Peacemaker we didn't pirate. Because that's illegal and wrong. We didn't do that.
No, we watched it on Now TV.
We waited until it was on Now TV, and we managed to have nothing spoiled for us for the 5 months we had to wait for it on Now TV. We definitely didn't pirate it, because that's wrong. So wrong.
It is.
But yeah. Anyway, Peacemaker's great. Everyone knows Peacemaker's great. Everyone knows John Cena's great. Do you know who else is great? Sir Patrick Stewart. Patrick Swayze? He's dead mush.
Oh.
Oh, no. Patrick Stewart. He's been talking about his time that he did Multiverse of Madness. And apparently he filmed with no one. No actors whatsoever. What the fuck is that? No actors whatsoever.
It's your mum.
I'm gonna beat you for that. Anyway, no actors whatsoever. He filmed it all like green screen by himself, and he says it was quite frustrating. And he says the past couple of years have been frustrating when he's filming, you know, because of COVID and stuff like that, and how these studios have got into this rut of, you know, oh, we can film John Krasinski here, Anson Mount, and then Patrick Stewart all by themselves, get them all on different days. Yeah, do you know what? It's probably very cost effective to do it like that, if you can make them look like you're all together. It's just I wanted to bring this up because my hope is, you know, for these later Avengers films, yeah, Infinity War and Endgame were massive. I get sometimes you couldn't have had everyone there at once, but and it's quite evident in the Benedict Cumberbatch scenes, actually, especially in Endgame, that it's like, oh, he wasn't there with anyone. My hope is that they start bringing casts together now, again. So we can get back to, like the first Avengers film, when everyone's just riffing off each other on a set. So, what do you think about this? Right, that is it for movies.
I don't know. I don't know what to think of it, to be honest. I mean, for Patrick Stewart, yeah, I can understand the frustration, I guess. You know, at the end of the day, it was more of a cameo, and I feel like if he had a bigger part in the story, then instead of just being because the way they did him showing up was literally just a cameo, and there wasn't really any like storyness to
Yeah,
it.
what's he in for the film? 5 minutes?
Yeah, it's like you look at Toby and Andrew, and they had like a bit more of a significance. Even throughout the entire film, because the villains are there because of what they have done, and they've shown up, and they're here to help fix Tom's
Yeah.
Spidey.
Yeah.
Whereas this is just kind of like, oh, I'm here, I'm explaining things. The sky is moving.
It is me.
Shut up.
It's fucking sad.
Kyle, will you turn your property down, please?
So, I get it, but it is cost effective, like you said, and I don't know. I guess we'll see. Yeah, it's like with the Mandalorian. I wish they'd stop using the screen so much.
Yeah, it was impressive in that first season, but then they revealed the magic to us, and then everyone was like, because they were so proud of it. It's like after that first season came out, it's like, we tricked you, you cunts. We did it all on this thing. And it's like, wow, that's actually pretty cool. But then when the later seasons go on, you're like, volume, volume, volume. Especially in Ahsoka, a show I like. A lot of shots in that were fucking very clearly volume.
Yeah, it limits what you can do in a shot, I think. You look at the original trilogy, the sequel trilogy, all practical. You see them move around a lot more, and it's just... I feel like it slows down the shows quite a bit, just having to be able to...
Obi-Wan really suffered from it.
Yes, it did, yeah. I feel like it works in certain shots, but if it's overused... It's like CGI, once it's overused, it's no good. You need a nice balance. It should be an ingredient that's there. Same with practical and CGI. We saw what happened with, obviously, the prequels. I know this for, obviously, as well, I'm putting this out there. There was practicality, there was practical sets, miniature sets used in the prequels. I'm not discrediting that. But there was an overabundance of CGI used. So, with that, obviously, in the sequel trilogy, clearly, they mixed it, they blended it so well. The CGI and the practicality of it blended really, really well. It was perfect. Wow. And then the Mandalorian show came out and they introduced this new technology. Again, it's like a mix between, it should have been a part of practical, so you should have had practical, the screen, and CGI. And that would have been a great addition to make these shows look great.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Obviously, I get it why they did use it quite a bit. It's to save money. It's
especially
a show at the end of the day.
during the pandemic as well.
Yeah.
Kind of makes a bit more sense, but I really wish to come away from this practice now because you can, for someone like me, I'm not bothered about CGI one bit. But even I, lately I've been like, oh, that. And it's something that usually don't bother me. So if I'm starting to notice, I can only imagine what it's doing to you.
I mean, I think Andor was great. I don't think Andor used it that much. Yeah. It looked so much better.
Yeah.
I mean, Ahsoka looked terrible in some parts because it was just quite bland. And then, obviously, in like I said, in Andor, it just looked so much better.
Yeah, no, definitely. Even going back to Marvel, when they're on a set that's been built up pretty good, on a decent set, like Shang-Chi, when they're in the compound, for the 10 Rings and stuff like that. When he's in the cage fighting, you could tell that was a good, nice set. Whereas sometimes they've just gone, oh, let's just have the cage and we'll CGI alt chains and we'll CGI alt crowd around and we'll CGI Abomination. I like that they used a practical Abomination. But a CGI Wong, weirdly.
Very wrong of them.
Yeah. But yeah. I think this is something that we're going to start seeing less and less of now.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, indeed.
Not less and less, just
integrate
mixed
it
in
right.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like I said, just it needs to be another ingredient to add to there.
Chocolate cake.
Yeah. Another tool on Batman's belt.
This is Marvel.
Right, but I'm saying for like DC and stuff like that, Just in general, it doesn't really matter.
But this is Marvel.
Listen here, you little cunt. Right.
Yeah. Right, let's end it there. It's Friday night and we want to have some fun. So, thank you all for watching. Appreciate it. If you've made it this far, I say this sometimes. Why? We spoke about beans for 3 minutes in the beginning, and you're still here. So clearly you like us.
But we will do that, though. Like, all jokes aside, we will do that, even though it's kind of a joke, but we will do that.
We will send the beans. So clearly you like us if you're still here, so subscribe. You could win some beans. Leave a comment saying beans, and we'll put you in the bean draw for the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
And every can of beans we send out, Kyle will eat a full can of beans on camera.
We're just sending one sand kind beans.
Yeah, but then, what happens when we get to 200 subscribers? We're sending 2 cans of beans.
No, we're sending
we're sending 2 cans of beans at 100 subscribers to one person. 200, and then 3, mate, the bean legacy will live on.
Alan, we're up in the game on that. We'll send them a full meal deal.
Nah.
Like all the expensive shit.
Let us know what you'd rather have, 2 cans of beans or a meal deal.
I'd go for beans, man.
I know you would. You just like beans. So yeah. Thanks for watching. This has been Movies and Beyond. I have been Callum. That has been Kyle. Kyle and Callum. Easy to remember. Subscribe. Like the video. View the video again with the sound off if our voice is irritated you. We'll get that watch time up. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Share. Show us to your mother. I love MILFs. So yeah. Anything you want to say before we go, Kyle?
No.
Alright. Fuck you all.
The desperation in my voice. No.
No, I'm not saying anything. Alright. Love you all. Bye.